Here we go. Okay, the other three sessions will be available if you want to watch those, and you can fast forward them, so it's not like the national showcases. But what we have talked about through most of the three breakout sessions has been the digital format, and we have also touched on some of the other things, the Zoom Unity and Instagram and the regional directors, because with this year being so bizarre and people not being able to meet face to face, it has been more important than ever to have good communications, both within our local communities and our local committees, but also between our locals and states and nationals. So one of the big things that I wanted to start out with is we will be, in the next couple of weeks, the next month, I will be sitting down with the flexible format handbook. It is right now the flexible format local handbook. It will probably continue to be named the flexible format local, because when we rolled this program out in February, it really was designed to be used for states that had no local network or had only one or two. So it wasn't really designed for Idaho and Kentucky, but it definitely is designed for Oregon and Georgia and Alaska and Minnesota, and maybe even though California has a lot of locals, California is a huge state, and so it may be something that California can use in unserved pockets of the state. But it was designed for one or two people to be able to bring a local level program to a community where there wasn't much brand recognition. So the idea is a couple of people could make a local program happen with very few monetary or volunteer resources. So a lot of what is in there is geared strictly towards local programs. A lot of what is in there was kind of theoretical. We had this idea of what we thought the digital format would look like, and then when the country shut down and it has become necessary for not just locals who new local programs, but existing local programs, state programs, and even the national program have had to go to the digital format. We have realized that some of the information in there is already obsolete, or we have found that things that we thought would work didn't work the way we thought they would, and we have found better means. So I will be overhauling and revising that document, and it will go out probably August, September time frame. The big things that are going to be changed is we will address some of the things that we think that we put in there initially that we are finding has not worked well. The one that comes to mind is the handbook as it exists now recommends that you, whoops, we have someone coming in. Hi, Carol. Can you hear me? Hi, Carol. Hi, I can see you now. Hi, you want to tell us which program you work with, Carol?
Sorry, Daisy, Tennessee.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, Daisy,
Oh,
Tennessee.
that's right. That's right. She actually used the local program. She had a hybrid where they did all of their evaluations digitally, and then they were able to have a small gathering for a live ceremony with the girls and their parents and their outgoing representative. But we'll get to that.
Oh,
I'm
thank you
sorry?
so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my honor. We are talking about self-expression, which actually Carol is the first person, the first local that I worked with who actually as their committee, they were able to get a venue where they could actually video all of their video submissions for their class, and then they submitted them directly to me to put into the evaluation videos. If you can't do that, you can always have the girls make their videos themselves. That is one of the things that will be going into the revised sample participant handbook, we have discovered that especially at the local level, so you state chairs who may have to go to digital, this is not really for you, this is really for the local programs. It is best if your committee cannot do all of your videos for submission and evaluation, have all of your girls, and this is going to go into the revision, we would like for the girls to all submit videos of themselves doing each category. So fitness sequence, self-expression, or and talent, using a cell phone. That way, everyone is in an equal position. We don't have, super glitzy production videos and then girls, in their kitchen videos. That way, just if we tell everybody, you need to have a friend or your parent video you horizontally within, keeping your body within the frame at all time. That way, everyone is on an equal playing field. So again, that's the local level. States are going to have a little bit more leeway, like what you saw in the national program. All of y'all got the handbooks that went out to your class of 2020 state representatives, so y'all can see exactly what the state representatives were given. I would recommend that you use that or have everybody, do a phone video submission, because again, I know that at the national level, Kendra said that they spent a lot of time with their judges, reiterating over and over and over that these videos, they were to only evaluate what the girls were doing, the girls' performances. They spent a lot of time hammering home that it was very important that the judges did not judge the slickness or the professionalness, is that even a word, of the video production, that we were not evaluating productions, and that you could not give, extra credit for a girl who had great lighting and, dock points for a girl who was in her basement. So I challenge you, states who are going to be forced to use the digital program, I challenge y'all to also do the same, to be, go through the 2020 National Class Handbook and see what was given to them for production and video submissions, and make sure that you're very, very specific with your judge's orientation. Yes, Linda?
For those of you that are not familiar with some of the video requirements and that type of thing, I can tell you from just our knowledge, what Fusion Point asked the girls to do based on what they want their video quality to do in 4K is not a common thing at all for anybody to be able to do at their home. So what we did, we actually used that material from the national handbook that was given to the girls, but we had to modify that because that specific type of video is really only done in high quality, high def, professional things. So if you put that out there to your girls, it may cause some stress because they're going to be worried about looking for it. I know what Fusion Point was doing, and I appreciate the level of professionalism that they were requiring, but I know that it caused some stress with some of the girls too. And that may be another reason why you saw some of the different video qualities, because when they take that, a typical iPhone or something like that, and try and translate that into a 4K, some of those videos you may have noticed were a little bit more blurry. They may have been, the pixel quality was a little different, and that's the difference between some of those ratios. So just for general knowledge.
Right. Well, can you, and again, if you go into the Google Drive where y'all signed up for this session, you will find 2 sample documents, and that's where I'm going to be putting samples that are specific to digital programs that are caused by the COVID quarantine situation. Any any documents that are related to digital programs in general will go into the online library, but stuff that is specific to quarantine use will go into that Google file, so Drive. And so, you know, you will all have access to it. You will all be able to download and if so, Linda, if you could give us a better, more accessible set of kind of guidelines that states could use instead of the scary, super fancy ones that national use, we'll get that into that drive as well.
Yeah, what I can do is I can send you what we sent out to the girls so that
Okay.
everyone can see it as a sample.
Sure.
And then you can just, you know, edit
Adapt-
as you need to
adapt.
from there and create what you need to, right?
Well, and I think Carol can speak to the quality of what I can do for you. I am not at all a videographer, and I don't have professional skills at all, but I can create for you your judges videos, evaluation videos very easily. And if you are able to do some sort of either Zoom presentation for the girls and their parents, or a live one like Carol was able to do, I can create videos for those as well. I hope that they were okay. Good. Anything that y'all need graphics wise, and this is not just for right now during the pandemic situation, but part of what my job is to provide you guys with any materials y'all need. So please do not hesitate to let me know if you ever need anything. I'm doing a couple of program books this year for local programs. I always do a couple for the states that need them. Anything like that you need, just give me a holler. If you are paying a graphic designer to do your program book, please don't do that because I am free. And I have some very, very fancy templates, or I can take, you know, your previous book and recreate it. But it's, you know, it turns out pretty good. So please don't pay a lot of money for graphic arts. It's just, it's not something we want y'all to do. Okay, back to, self-expression. Like I said, Carol was the first one who did self-expression category video submissions. Initially, we had thought that you guys would want to, and yes, I do have a template that I can easily do. Shannon, I think you're the one that asked. Somewhere, I don't know where my chat went. I don't know where it went. I do not have a publisher template, but I could get you one. So we will do that, Shannon. I just saw your chat, so that was why I went there. But what we have in the program, in the manual now for the flexible format, was that you would probably want to do your self-expression presentations while you had the girls on the video conferencing for interviews. A lot of feedback has come back to us that because what we recommended was have their 10-minute interview, put them in the waiting room, bring them back and do their self-expression presentation. What we are finding is that the girls and or the judges kind of feel like that self-expression is not a true self-expression and more of an extension of the interview. So now we are recommending, if you do not have the means to have video submissions for your self-expression speeches, please have the girls, when they log in for their interviews, have them do self-expression first. That way it is a true public speaking and it is not an extension of their interview. So those are things that will go into the revision that will be going out here in a month or so. One other thing is for states who are using a digital format, we would really prefer if you try to have 5 judges, even though the book right now says you can have as few as 3. That's really for locals. And it was designed for locals that were having, that couldn't get judges to drive to their place and that kind of thing. With everyone being on lockdown and with everyone being Zoom gurus now, we recommend that you try everything to get 4 or 5 if you are a state, 3 or 4 if you are a local, and the judges list will be updated here within the next week. I try to update it once a month. So so that is also and this is a great time with everyone, having to go to these digital programs. It's a super time for you to get somebody from the other side of the country. Lots and lots of availability. It's a lot easier to get people when they're not, having to travel or pay for hotel rooms, or you having to foot hotel rooms. So that pretty much is all I have. Does anybody have any questions about the digital format right now? So no? Okay. Well,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yes. Uh-huh.
Miss Mary?
Yes. My question is about the number of girls. I have at this time about 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to make sure I got this right. We can do a video of the self-expression, but
Mm-hmm.
doing the interview and do
Right.
the self-expression.
You have a choice of doing either or. You can either have them when the girls call in for their video conference with the judges,
Yeah.
either start out with them first presenting their self-expression speech, or have them submit videos. Either or.
Okay. Okay. Now I have a question about the web. You may not can answer.
Sure.
I I have one girl on the participants list that I can't get moved to the applicants list.
You mean the other way, right? Right. Once this session is over, I can fix that for you. I don't know how many of you who work with your dashboards have realized this. Julie, you will find this out. Our website is very, very persnickety. The platform it is built on is evil. To be honest, and
Yeah.
it does a lot of really strange things. One of the things that I recommend is do not use Google Chrome as the browser when you are working in your dashboard, because it is super, super unreliable. Girls have a lot of problems saving their information if they are using Google Chrome. They have a lot of problems uploading photos if they're using Chrome. So we recommend that you use Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Safari instead. Another issue that we find that happens a lot is that the website is not reliable if you do not have both your operating system, so either Windows or OS X if you're on a Mac. Those things need to be updated, as well as your browsers, because the platform is wonky. That being said, what Mary just described happens all the time. We do not know why. It happens most frequently if you are going in and trying to approve more than one applicant at a time for participation, but it's not consistent. So it's not like you can only approve 5 girls and then it hangs up. Sometimes you can approve 20. Sometimes you can approve 2. We don't know. It has been looked at by the person who works on our website on a pro bono volunteer basis. But fortunately, even though we don't know what causes it, I have, knock on wood, been able to always move your girl for you. So all you have to do is drop me a text, drop me an email that says, I have a girl hung between applicant and participant, or she's showing up in both places, and I can move her for you.
And I have one more girl. I got the email saying that she had applied.
Oh, no. And now you can't find her?
Can't find her anywhere.
Okay. Well, y'all are the first people to hear this story, other than the web tech and a couple of chairs. We just discovered on Sunday was the first time it happened in Wyoming, and then we have 2 local programs. One I believe in Idaho, and one in Alabama, and apparently now Mary is also. We are losing girls. I can see them in the super admin section of the website that I have access to. So I can see a girl that you say one of you has gotten a notification that Jane Doe has applied. But when you go into your dashboard, you can't find her anywhere. So you come to me and you say, I can't find Jane Doe, but she's supposedly in my dashboard. I'll go into my side of the website and I'll find her, and it'll say, yes, she's in Macon County. So then I'll go to Macon County, and I won't be able to find her either, even though I can clearly see on my side that she's assigned to Macon County. I just let Cam know this morning that this is an issue. Have not heard yet. If he can figure out what it is or why this is happening. We can force. I can manually add her to your website, but unfortunately, because this is happening obviously more frequently than we would like, and it's happening across the organizational websites, I'd like to be able to get it fixed so that I don't have to do this all the time. But Mary, I will look for this girl once we get off. I'll fix the one that is hung, and then I'll look for the other one and hope and pray that it's just she's in the wrong year and not one of these that has fallen into the Ethernet. And yes, this website, I know y'all's frustration, but that's what I'm here for. Anytime y'all have problems, please let me know. We are very pleased that for the most part I can fix stuff from my end. It may involve some backdoor steps, but so far I am able to fix most of the website issues. It's just very, oh no, more people are missing. Okay, I will find them. I don't know, literally, I do not know what has happened in the last 3 days, but the first time I saw this issue was Sunday, and we fixed it manually, so I can fix it for you guys. But now, when it was just 1 out of the nation, but now I know of at least this is 6. I'm a little bit concerned that it's a more widespread issue. So we will get it fixed, or I will start doing it manually. So, but yeah. Does anybody else have any questions about anything? Oh yes, Miss Mary.
I have a question. You mentioned before something about a participant waiver.
Yes.
Related to COVID. Is that a sample that's going to be in
that sample waiver right now? It is in that Google Drive. So if you just go back to that, and I'm gonna, after this one is over, I'm going to put a summary up of all the stuff, letting people know where to go and look. But there is in that right now in there is the sample waiver for local programs who might be interested, or state programs, and now that we're into the state program season, but programs who might be interested. I am also in the process of talking with the various state programs who are scheduled to be held in July. We have a variety of programs. About half of them have decided to go all digital, and part of them are still hoping to have at least some in-person component. Shannon let me pick her brain yesterday. Shannon Johns, Oregon, let me pick her brain yesterday, and we will be putting something out to let people know. One of the best parts about working with all of you guys is the generosity of spirit that all of you volunteers have. Everyone has been so good to want to share ideas, and that's what these Zoom meetings and the unit in the volunteer Facebook page. If you're not on our Facebook group page, You don't have to friend me, but you can friend me and then I can add you. Or you can just search for Distinguished Young Women State and Local Volunteers and send a request to join and we'll put you in. But we have unit number 1 in that group has a lot of the ideas that have been shared by people around the nation who have had to use the digital or a hybrid or anything like that. And then I will be also adding all of this stuff that is going in, the videos from the 4 breakout sessions, the workshops, Arian's slide presentation, the other presenter slide presentations. We're going to put those in there because Arian's especially had some links in them that you guys may be interested in doing. One of the other things that we had hoped to be able to present, but just ran out of time with the presenters, is one of the things that a lot of people are using because of the pandemic, but it is something that you will be able to use going forward, even if once we are able to meet in person again, is life skills workshops via Zoom or via YouTube. If you do a digital life skills workshop with your programs, if you would just send me that video or send me that link if it's on YouTube, we would love to be able to share those with people, not just so that you could use, somebody else's workshop, but it may give you an idea of someone in your community that you can reach out to provide a similar workshop to your programs. And that's one of the things, the life skills workshops, while they're great for the girls because it gives them skills for success in college and beyond, what it's also beneficial for our programs is you can bring in someone from the community to talk about, for instance, cyber security, if you know someone who works in that, how to make sure that you're not, opening yourselves up to have your online presence stolen. And what I know that two state programs during the 2020 program year had new presenters come in and present to their girls, do a life skills workshop, really, really impressed with the girls, and wrote checks. That's, always our, main thing. We love that, but almost everyone, I know of 2 that have gotten checks, but even the people who have not gotten checks are hearing from these presenters, wow, I did not know this existed. I thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. I want to be more involved. So you can either grow not either, but we hope that by reaching out into our communities and finding new life skills presenters, not only will you be able to hopefully find some monetary benefits, but also volunteer resource benefits as well, because, DYW is big. To be able to effectively reach as many young women as possible and to give them the best, experience, we need a lot of people. And so volunteers are a great way of growing our programs and providing a better product to our young women and our participants.
Lisa, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Adette?
So I had a local director whose husband's an attorney, and he didn't feel like the waiver covered the volunteers, and so they made their own. Is that what you want us to do, or are you working on a new
You are
waiver?
more than welcome. If you don't mind, if you have the volunteer one, if you could send that to me so that I could put it up. I'm going to be honest with you. We do not. Okay, this is Kendra's position. Waivers are not legally binding. So you cannot sign away your ability to bring a lawsuit. However, we do recognize that in asking your girls and their parents to sign, because it's really their parents, because the girls are mine.
Right.
But in asking these parents to sign waivers, they are accepting, at least cerebrally, they are accepting, partial I don't want to use the word blame, but they are recognizing that they are making a conscious decision. So
Responsibility, at
yes,
least.
yes, they're recognizing their responsibility. Correct.
Okay.
And
I'll
so
send you the
yeah,
one we made up for
that'd be
Boise
great.
Valley
Mhm.
because it came up for liability, and then COVID, of course, came. So I'll
Exactly.
send that on.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. So we will get those samples up. I know that the one if you can send it to me in Word, that would be great. That way, if people
Okay.
want to take it and download it and then customize it for their programs, that it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, so that is
Okay.
one thing. And if anyone has any kind of documents or schedules or COVID plans. One of the things that I want to add up for all of y'all is one of the participants yesterday runs a local program in North Carolina, and and I have a funny story, kind of that works in with what I was about to tell you. Is I read an email, or I mean a tweet, a couple of weeks ago from a football organization. I don't know if it was the NCAA or the Southeastern Conference, but whoever it was a big wig, and it says, right now we have about 20 scenarios for the fall football season that we have, that covers any option. We don't ask y'all to, we are definitely not asking y'all to have 20 scenarios for your upcoming programs. What we are asking you is to have a minimum of 3. The first scenario should be an in-person showcase, and because one of the things that we are finding is that if you use a venue that is owned by a school system or a university, some of them are requiring you to do additional things that you don't do normally when you rent their venues, and they can be taxing on your financial situation, because we are finding that they are requiring you to have a industrial cleaner come in before and after. One local program said that they were requesting that you hire school system employees to be in every room that you were using during your rental, to ensure that you were following their protocol. So what we are finding is that some of the venues that you've used for years and years and years are suddenly priced out because of these additional policies surrounding COVID. So please go ahead and check in with your usual venue early and find out if there are any additional procedures or costs that are going to be assigned. The other thing you need to do is always, if you're having a live showcase, is to find out what your community's rules are as far as audience size. I know that somebody I talked to yesterday, and it may have been you, Shannon, that if it's a public gathering, it was only like 50, but if it was a church where the public gathering was going to be held, it can be 200. So these are things to think about and to look at. And you're going to have to look at all these things. The second option I would encourage you all to have is a hybrid, where you either have a showcase with no audience, a showcase with only your girls, a showcase, where you're just presenting the on-stage stuff, but all the evaluations have been done prior. Someone I know is planning on not having any audience. One of the states is not going to have an audience at all, just the girls and the judges. One of the states is going to do the opposite. They are planning to do all of their judging beforehand and then have the girls present the categories live and on stage. They won't be judged, but at least their families will get to see them. So there's a lot of options out there for hybrid programs. Get with your committee, get with your production team, and consider that. And then the third option, of course, is going to be the 100% digital. Part of the 100% digital thing that we need to let y'all know is be very, very careful live streaming anything that has copyrighted music in it, which is pretty much everything. YouTube and Instagram Live are known to, once they hear copyrighted music, shut down your live feed. What we are finding is a better option is to do a Zoom live ceremony or live viewing, because that's a private viewing, and so it's not subject, it's not out in the public venue. Or put it on YouTube and have it be an unlisted YouTube video. YouTube, if you make it a public video, they're going to take it down or they're going to block it. But if you make it an unlisted, non-monetized video, you will be able to share that link with people to be able to see your showcases. So, does anybody else have any questions? I'm here. Oh, yes, Linda.
I did want to also put out there, Vimeo is also another site that people can use to do that. I would do the same thing though. Anytime you have it public, you run that risk. So anytime you can capture something and keep it contained, you'll be able to get away with the copyright stuff. I think Zoom screen shares are a great way because you can actually have the whole screen. And then you have all your families there to experience that with everybody together. So that can be a lot of fun too, rather than just watching the video.
Yeah. And we have had a couple of different programs who have shared their award ceremonies, or I don't know if Saudi Day, did we share your showcase video? Carol, do you know? I think I still have it. Not the evaluation video, but the other one. But if Carol's committee agrees, we may be able to share that with you guys, so y'all can see, have some ideas. And I think, we are very, very committed to being as flexible as we can be this year for the 2021 locals, and now that the states are starting up, the 2021 states, we are praying very, very hard and unceasingly that we will not ever have to do another national digital program again. But, we are very thankful that we do have these options. We are pleased that we did not have to shut down for a year. We are not going to have gap years where there are young women who are not getting any DYW experience. So we do want to be as flexible as we can with you guys. The only thing that we don't want to give any flexibility on is the integrity of our judging. So, it's very important that the judging component be handled strictly by your judge's chair. Your production chair and your program chair should not be part of any video conferencing. They should not be, sitting in on interviews. They should not be sitting in on deliberations via Zoom. It really needs to stay the way it would be in a live showcase format. I recommend that all the judges come together on a video conference, a Zoom or a Google Meet. We are finding that Google Hangouts is not really, it doesn't have the right features the platform does. From what I understand, I have not played with Google Meet, but from what I understand, it has a lot of the same features that Zoom does, being able to put people into waiting rooms and come back and that kind of thing. So use either Zoom or Google Meets to do your judges orientation, to do your video conferencing for interview, and then when you are doing the category judging, if you have video submissions, like I said, the easiest thing is to send me your video submissions and let me make you one evaluation. So I make a talent video that only has all your talent videos. And then I make a fitness video that has only your fitness routines in it. And I build in, when I make them for programs, I build in enough time so that they're judging like they would in a live situation. So the girl does her fitness video, and then there is approximately, I think it's 10 seconds, which would be the equivalent of them doing their little transition where they come back and forth out of the spotlight, and then they score it, and then they go to the next video. So that's already built into the videos for self-expression and talent. I do recommend that the judge's chair pause the videos in between talents, because that just, you know, gives them time to make their notes. And we know that talent gives a little bit more time than self-expression and fitness, because they do have the MCs talking and the introductions and all that kind of stuff. But we do want your judge's chair to control the viewing of the evaluation videos, either by a screen share. If they cannot screen share so that all the judges can watch from the judge's chair's computer, what we'll go, and this will be in the new version of the flexible format. You send the links one at a time, and you tell the judges, you have the video for talent is 20 minutes long, so you have 25 minutes from when I send this video to you to watch the videos and send your scores to the tabulators. I think that it is best that they send their scores to the tabulators and not to the judge's chair. That way, you know, it's going straight to where it needs to be. Less chances of people seeing that, you know, don't need to see. Because that is one thing that we are finding with the digital program, is that we are having results before they are announced. You know, the national staff knew ahead of time before y'all knew on Saturday. And we were sworn to secrecy. Kendra actually told us, do not even tell your spouses. So it was very funny, because Mark asked me, he had worked with several young women and judged a couple of state programs. So he comes to me on Friday and he says, so you know who won, right? And I'm like, yes. And he says, so will I be happy? And I'm like, bye. And I just turned around and left. He was like, she wouldn't even tell me if I'd be happy. I'm like, nope, not telling you anything, just walking out. Because if it had gotten back that I had let it out, even to Mark, I would have been in trouble. And so I just, you know, but that's the thing. It's because there are going to be people who know ahead of time who your category winners are, who your, you know, finalists are, who your top 3 are. It is super important that the judge's chair and the tabulators and the judges know that everything needs to be kept confidential. We need to maintain the integrity of the judging procedure. So any other questions? Or any ideas that anybody has that they want to share? That's one of the one of the other purposes of this, not just me talking at y'all, but y'all being able to ask questions and or share ideas that y'all have.
I was just going to say, I think I saw the look on your face when the awards were being announced on Saturday. I could see your brain just kind of holding it in. It was really great.
Yeah, we were so not thrilled to be in that video either. The 3 of us were just like, well, that was awkward and horrid. We were not looking forward to watching the announcements, and I did not, because I was looking at Mark, thankfully, so I didn't have to look at myself. I should have worn thanks, but then I didn't, so oh well. I really thought it was going to be from up higher, but yeah. So
one thing that I'm gonna test out here in Minnesota, because we're pushing our at-large back yet again. This will be the second time it's getting pushed back.
Sure.
And we have a pretty solid core group of girls who are excited and are getting paperwork in. And I just keep feeling like we're letting them down by, they're in limbo.
Right.
So I was going to try to will be trying to implement some Zoom office hours where I just have an hour or 2 out of my day. I can sit here. If they pop in and show up and have questions, that's great.
Right.
If they don't, no harm done.
I like that. That's a super great question. Oh, and I should also let y'all, I did not let anybody else know, so this is the only video that it'll be on, but people, can maybe scan through them. I have a digital fax machine. So if you want to use my fax number for your Scholastic stuff, instead of having girls mail in or schools mail in the scholastics information, in the resources section of the online documents library, there are fill-in PDFs for all of the scholastics things. It's actually separated into two instead of being one document that has the instruction form and the academic record form. We separated it that way you can customize, your how you want to receive your forms back on the instructions, and then there's the fill-in form. But if you want to give schools the option to fax in scholastic information, you are more than welcome to use mine. Basically, I'll get a notification that I've received a fax. I'll see which program it belongs to, and then I'll email it straight to you. We are not asking for people to send in mail, hard copy paper scholastics because of the circumstances. Almost all high schools have their transcripts in a digital format now. What we do require is it has to be emailed to your judges committee from a school email account. It cannot be the girl getting it and emailing it to you. It has to come from an official school EDU or K-12 email account. It has to come from an official school account. Or if they are faxing it, it has to come with a school fax cover letter. So, but if y'all want to use fax, a fax option, you are more than welcome to use my fax number. It's a 1-800 number too, so. But yeah, so we definitely, I'm super happy that we've been able to use these Zoom meetings so that I can see everybody's faces and hear your voices. It's been hard the last 2 weeks to not have people in Mobile with us. We hope that when the country opens back up and we can travel around and we can gather, I really hope that you guys will, even if you are with a local program and your local representative is not your state representative, come to Mobile. We are a vacation destination. We have lots of attractions, and we have these beautiful white sand beaches. We would love to have y'all come. I think Shannon's husband came and played the golf courses down there. We have some really nice ones, but we would like for y'all to come and celebrate DYW, not just the class of 2021 next summer, but all of y'all, all of the volunteers who make this program happen in over 300 communities around the state. So I really, really would appreciate being able to see all of you and hug you in person. Looking forward to some semblance of normal again, where we can do that. So, yes, ma'am, Linda.
I just wanted to make a suggestion to you, Lisa, and I'm not really trying to add anything to your plate, but it's going to a little bit.
Sure.
With us getting used to these Zoom meetings, a lot of volunteers are used to doing them as well, and not knowing what the future looks like. And even if the pandemic situation recedes significantly, I would really love to see quarterly hangouts with the volunteer group, because I think most people can't get to Mobile for whatever reason, but I really feel like this kind of format will, even if there's not a specific agenda necessarily for all of that, but just for us to be able to see each other, because I'm seeing Doria, seeing Mary, seeing Marty, it's like, oh yeah, hey, I saw you guys last year, and it's nice to be able to see them again, and then actually being able to see a face like Shannon Caputo. I've seen your name forever, but I've never seen your face really that registers, that type of thing. So I would really love to see that, because state chairs are one thing, but local chairs, it just brings more of a sense of family for all of us, and I'd love to see that happen.
Yes, and I agree. And you know what? It would be a super easy thing for me to do. a quarterly hangout. It'll probably be on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, so that it's not so that it's easier for our friends in Alaska and Hawaii. I don't know why I said Arizona. Where did that come from? Anyway, Alaska and Hawaii to be able to join us. But yeah, I think that would be fun. Or even if we did, one for each time zone, because we all know that I am not good at the time zone conversions, but yeah. But yeah, I do think that would be a fun thing, and that definitely is the kind of work that I enjoy. That I love being able to help you guys. I cannot thank all of you enough. I wouldn't have this job in Mobile if it wasn't for all of you. We wouldn't have a national program if it wasn't for all of you. Especially all of you local chairs. Y'all are what runs this program. Y'all are the heart and soul of this program. Y'all make it happen, and I just can't thank y'all enough for sharing your time and your talents. And I know that all of y'all here that I am looking at on this Zoom, I know that all of y'all use your own money as well as your time and talents, and I just want to thank y'all so very much for your generosity of spirit and of resources to make this program happen. This is my 34th anniversary year. I was in the class of 1987, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this program. It changed my life. It changed the way I thought about myself, and it changed, it made me braver. And so when the 50 young women arrive here every year, or if I get to go to y'all state programs and get to see your state classes, it's very overwhelming to me to realize that what was given to me is being given to young women 34 years later. And so I'm so very grateful to all of you for making this program happen in your states and your communities, and for continuing to give women a voice and confidence to be their best selves. So thank y'all so very much. If no one else has anything they want to add or question, I am always available via text. Is usually the quickest way to get me is usually through text, but email is, I try to be available and keep an eye on my emails and text between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Central Time. That doesn't mean I'm in front of my computer that whole time frame, but I do keep a close eye so that if you have something pressing that you need help with, that I can get it done in fairly quickly, because I don't want I know you guys all have real lives, and even if you're working from home, you are working from home, and you have real lives and you have real families, and so I do try to make myself available to you guys as much as possible. So don't hesitate to let me know, and thank y'all again for joining us. And like I said, later this afternoon, I will be putting everything up and putting it in the Facebook group page, and then I will probably be emailing everything else out either tomorrow or Thursday. So y'all take care, stay well, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.